everyone, can you hear me? Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Patty, hi Karen, hi Tanya. Oh, you can all hear me, great. I'm just gonna plug in my two phones just in case the batteries go low, so just bear with me 1 minute. I don't want to cut you off, so just okay, right. Now it's just a case of how I'm going to see the comments. Right, what have we got? So, hi Alison. Oh no. I'm on the big TV. Oh dear. Hi Mandy. Oh, brilliant, loud and clear. Hi Susan. You can hear, brilliant. Okay, that's fab. What time is it? A few more minutes yet before we start. So I think everything is plugged in and ready to go. I'm just going to switch the camera. So in a few minutes, hopefully you should be able to see the ScanNCut machine. So before, well, just the screen, not the whole machine. So just before I start, let's just check that that one's all okay. Hi Barbara. Hi Bonnie. Hi Gloria. Okay, I can't see any comments saying you can't see the ScanNCut screen, so I'm assuming, yes, you can see the screen. Just seeing Karen's pop up now. Thank you, Karen. Okay, that's fine. Just making sure that everything is okay. Okay, let me flip you back. I've got 4 devices on the go here. It's ridiculous. I've got two phone cameras. I've got my phone that I'm reading your comments on, and I've got my iPad showing me what the heck is going on. It's like mission control. And then the comments are about 10 seconds behind. Bonnie's saying, yes, you can see it well, brilliant. Hi, Nancy. Wow, so we're tuning in from all over again. Right, I'm going to make a start. The first thing I want to just mention is card sketch number 3 on the blog closes on the 25th of July. I've not had any photographs at all this month for card sketch number 3, and I thought it was such a simple one. If you do want to take part, it's just for fun. Just create a project using card sketch number 3, which you can find on the blog via the website. It's a few posts down now because it was posted at the beginning of July. And then just send me a photograph of your project, and then after the 25th of July, for anyone that submits one, I do a blog post and I put them all in one blog post. That's what I did last month. So that's the first thing. I don't know whether you know or not, I did do a blog post this week about it, but I'm now offering one-to-one classes via Zoom for the ScanNCut. They're going to be limited though to only a couple a month. Again, if you go to the website, click on the ScanNCut tab, you'll see a tab underneath now that says online classes. All the information is in there. Basically, just read it all. If you're interested, there's a form that you fill in just to kind of register your interest. You're not committing to anything at that point. And then we can discuss, you know, through messages what it is you want to learn. They're hour-longs. Barbara, I've looked in my folder and I can't find anything unless I'm looking in the wrong place, but I'll have another look again tonight, but if you've sent me one, if you don't mind, send it me again. Where was I? Oh yeah, classes. So just go and have a read of the online classes under the ScanNCut tab and see if that's something that you'd be interested in. And then the projects that we're going to do today, I've already made 2. Now these are quilt blocks that are in the ScanNCut machine. All the quilt blocks that I've used or I'm going to use today are in my machine. They're also in the CM900 because I've still got my user manual for that. And I suspect they'll be in previous models as well. But if not, all the machines, as far as I'm aware, have got quilt patterns of some design. So you just choose a design that's in your machine if you've not got any of these and follow what I'm going to show you. So that's the first one. And I've made these so that they're about 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And they've just got a little piece of white paper inside when you open them up for you to write your greeting, with them being on, these 2 are on a dark yellow. So that's one. I just need to open them the right way. Am I upside down again? I can't remember. I think that's the right way around. Hang on, let me see if I'm upside down. Oh no, that's right. So this is the second one. Again, I've just put a piece of paper inside so that when it opens, there's a space there for you to write your greeting. Now I think these are just nice as they are. I don't think they need really a lot more, but you could maybe cut a little die cut and put a greeting on the front. That's just a simple oval. You know, if you popped it up onto 3D foam so it sits off the card a little bit, or just cut a strip of white card. I think this is about 3 inches by 1/2 inch. And again, you know, you could put that on the front with a greeting. That was just a little thought. So I've made 2, and I've also made envelopes. Now I've already made 3 envelopes, but I've got another piece of paper here to make a 4th envelope with you. And for anybody that leaves a comment while we're actually on live, I'm going to put all the comments together and randomly pick one, and I'll send you the 4 cards and the 4 envelopes. But you've got to leave a comment while we're actually live. So for anybody that's watching the replay, I'm afraid your comments won't count. So I'll be able to go back tonight and I'll be able to see how long the video ran for and who left comments in that time frame, and then I'll just put all the names into a hat and I'll randomly draw one, and I'll let you know next week who I drew out. And then if you can be here next week and you want them, as long as you're prepared to send me your address, I'll pop them in the post. So the patterns I've used for these 2 are, well, I'll show you in a minute. So that's 2 cards already done and 3 envelopes. I've got some inserts here already ready to go for the next 2. I've got a piece of paper to do the 4th envelope. See, I'm all prepared, and I've got 2 more ready to cut, and I'm using different colour cardstock for these 2, and I've got all the bits ready assembled. So let's flick you over. Barbara, Barbara, that's cheating. Yeah, Karen, I thought I've done something like this in the past, but I couldn't find the video, so I don't know whether I actually recorded anything, so I just thought we'd do it today. So I'm going into patterns, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to find my quilt patterns. All the 4 designs are all from this first section. I'm just waiting to see if you're catching me up. Yeah, you are. Okay, so I'm going to go into the first section. So my first card Susan, this is what I'm showing you now, where to find them. Okay, so the first card is, let me make sure which one it is. It's PA A002. I need to come back a little bit. The second card is PA003. And then the 2 that I'm going to cut with you are PA007. So this is the first one. And then the other one is PA014. Mags, yes, sorry if you only just joined. Yeah, all these designs are in the CM900 as well as my Disney machine, and I suspect that they'll be in the CM600 as well. But as I said, if anybody's got a different model and these particular ones are not in your machine, you should have quilt patterns in every ScanNCut machine as far as I'm aware. Just go and choose one from your machine but follow the same principles. Hi Bonnie. That's okay. Right, I'm just going to plod on and then I'll catch up with messages in a minute. So the pattern is here on the screen and they all seem to come in at 9 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to I can use the height or the width, it doesn't matter because these are square. I'm just going to use the height and I'm going to take the height down to as low as it will go, which is 4 inches from what I've found. It stops at 4 inches and I've even tried putting it on the mat and changing it and it wouldn't let me change it, but I don't think you'd want to go any smaller than 4 inches anyway. So I'm going to say okay, now it's 4 inches. Now you can bring each one of the designs on individually. If you click on them, it will show you where this element fits within the design. So if I click on A, you can see it's the 5 blue squares that are highlighted. If I click on B, it's these 2 white sections. And if I click on B1, it's the other 2 white sections. And then if I click on C, you'll see it's these 4 triangles that are just going around the centre square. But for me, the easiest way I've found to deal with this is because these are quilt patterns, and when you put these onto your mat, they will come in with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And obviously this is being cut in card, so we don't want the seam allowance. So the easiest way I found was to select the whole design. Now if you don't have this option, just do it one at a time and I'll go back and show you in a minute. So select the whole design and say OK and set so it comes in on the mat. And I don't know if you saw there, but when it came in it said it was 4.71 by 4.71, and that's because it's got all the seam allowances on. I'm going to come into edit. Everything is grouped. When you choose to bring it all on your mat in one go, everything is grouped. So I'm going to go to Object, Edit, and here you'll see the seam allowance is highlighted. So if I select it and turn it off and say OK, all the seam allowances have disappeared now. Now let me see if I can zoom you in a bit, because I'm not sure if you can see this properly or not. Just give me 1 minute. Just going to move you ever so slightly. Okay, did you all see that or not? Should I go back and do it again? Because I'm not sure whether you could see it properly. But I've zoomed it in a bit more now, in the hope that you might be able to see it a little bit better. Let me bring it down to the middle and see if I can just zoom in a little bit more. So Tanya's saying, just looked and they are on the CM300, brilliant. I knew you'd have some, because obviously Brother make sewing machines, don't they? And I thought they would be, so that's good to know, Tanya, thank you. So Magsy's saying okie dokie. Mandy G's saying, I make quilts on a regular basis, just making a baby one now, but I've never used any for these, brilliant. That's Barbara saying that's better. Right. Let's go back. They're definitely on the CM900, Mags, because I've still got the manual, and that's why I picked these designs. Right, let's go back and we'll do it again. So pattern, into quilts, into the first section, PAA007, take the size down to 4 inches, say OK, choose all the elements, say OK, and set. So if I bring them into the middle now, you should be able to see. Let me see if I can bring this up and see if it takes the shine off it a bit. So what you see now is you see the boxes around all the shapes, but you see these funny kind of elongated ovals, and they're all the seam allowances basically. So if we go to edit, object edit, the seam allowance is highlighted, which means it's active, and we turn it off and say OK. Now all the designs have had the seam allowance removed, but this is all still a group, and obviously I want to cut the parts separately, so I'm going to ungroup and then click anywhere to deselect. So the first thing I'm going to do is start selecting the squares, because all the squares are going to be cut from the same colour, and I'm just going to position them in this top right hand 6-inch section of my mat. Let's see what we're saying. On the 300 you've got to put on one group at a time. Okay, that's fine. I'll go back and I'll show how to do that separately, but you should be able to do the same thing. You put them on and you take the seam allowance off. That's all you're doing. You just want to get rid of the seam allowance. Nancy's saying thank you, that's better. Okay, so where this square was in the middle, these triangles that are nearest to the centre square are all the ones that were in the dark blue on the design. So I'm just going to move them into another quadrant of the mat, and then the others were the white sections. So I'm going to say OK, OK, and if I go back to add, you can see I'm back to the design, so you can see, so I've got the 4 blue corners and the blue centre in one section of my mat. I've got these dark blue elements in another, and what are the white elements in another. Okay, so I'm just going to hit go back. So that's how it's spread out on my screen now. Right, let's catch up with what you're saying. So Tanya's saying, yes, trying is watching, brilliant. Leslie's saying, hi Leslie, managed to do that on my 900. Bonnie's saying, don't forget to do the thumbs up. Oh, lovely, thank you, Bonnie. So now I've got the 3 different elements. I'm going to put them on some paper and card on my mat now in the same sections. So these are my 3 pieces that are going to go on this mat. Let me get my mat the right way round. So we've got the, let me think about this now. So we've got the whites going up here. They're going to be the squares, and this is going to be, so this paper, this is the reverse side. So that's all I've done. I've just turned it over. Let's put that way. And I've got a piece of white card, which will hopefully be for the white sections. And then the other thing you need for this, if you're going to do it at this size, is a square 4x4, and I just cut these with my trimmer because I'm using 4x4 because that's the size I set the pattern at. And then this is going to be the base card. So let me just make sure that all these are rubbed down on this mat, and then I'll catch up with what you're saying. So I'm going to load in the mat. Hi Kathy, don't worry, it's fine, it'll be recorded, so hopefully you can go back and watch. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a background scan and just make sure that the elements are going to fit on these pieces of card and paper that I've already cut, and they should do, because I measured them earlier. So I'm just going to drag. I can see where the bits of card and paper are, hopefully, although I can't see the white very well. So I'm just going to drag them on so I know they're all in place. And obviously when you've got more time you can do this yourself, and I mean, I'm looking at this again at a funny angle. So hopefully we should be okay. I'm going to say OK, select, cut and start. And if my mat's sticky enough and everything's in place, hopefully they'll start to cut. Right, oh, Kathy, thank you. Just give me a thumbs up, that's lovely. Bonnie's saying, can you cut out the base of the card before you start? And do you have the base for the card on the ScanNCut? I cut the bases with my paper trimmer, Bonnie. They're 8 1/4 by 4 1/8, because 8 1/4 is the widest our UK A4 card is. But if you're in the US and you use 8 1/2 by 11, you could cut your own card bases on the machine. Yes, it's entirely up to you. Right, where's my spatula? So I'm just going to remove all these bits of waste. Kathy's saying, I'm watching on the TV, so I won't be making any comments, but I'm still here. Oh, bless you, Kathy, that's fine. Leslie says, just do a 6x12 oblong, Bonnie. Yeah, so that would make the card 6x6, Leslie, but my cards are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. But you could put these designs on a 6x6 card, you just have more background around them. Leslie's saying, sorry, got the measurement wrong. Okay, that's fine, I just thought you liked 6x6 cards, Leslie. Right, so I'm going to say finish. And I'm just going to leave the mat where it is for now. Now, I've got this embossing folder. And this is a Stampin' Up one, it's called Dainty Diamonds. It's lovely, it's part of that Peony Suite. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to emboss the white sections. So I'm just going to pick the white sections up off my mat, and I'm just going to put them all into here. Now this isn't going to be perfect because I can't see it properly, but I'm trying to kind of get them level with the design. So I've got them in the embossing folder. I'm just going to run them quickly through my embossing machine. Okay, so Karen's saying, lost you for a second, but you're back. Okay. Helen's put, whoops, been sat waiting for the session to begin on another link. Oh no, is it doubled up? Sorry. Oh Sue, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was 2 links. Okay, so there's my embossed bits now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push the machine out of the way and unload the mat. And I'm just going to bring in all the elements, and I'm just trying to keep them in the order that they were on the mat, because these have got cars on and some of them are going to be upside down. Doesn't matter for the plain brown pieces. So this is where you need your 4-inch square. If you're cutting your designs at 4 inch, then you need a 4-inch square. I'm going to use wet glue for this, and the design goes together with 4 squares, 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. Okay, and then you fit the others around it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the first square down. And the easiest way I find to do this is to just put the, so you know you're getting it right in the corner, just put your card down on your desk and push your pattern paper or whatever you're using up against it. Let me see what Helen's saying. It was originally 1 announcing the session starts at 5, no problem, I'm sure I'll catch up. Okay, well that's what I thought I'd done, but it must have gone on twice for some reason. Did you get 2 notifications, Helen, saying it was live? Bonnie, I've not got the embossing kit yet, but I will do something with it when I do get it. This is just a, you know, like a, well, it's an electronic machine, not a hand crank machine, but this you use embossing folders for. Okay, so I'm going to put the next one down. Let's keep going. So Vicky's saying I had both on, couldn't figure out why one computer was streaming it and the other one wasn't. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but... Okay, so what you want to do, you want to make sure that your bits that you're cutting line up with the top and the side of this 4-inch square, because that will make the design go together better. That one I'm going to leave for a minute. I'm going to pop the corners in first, and then hopefully that will give me a place to put the centre one. And again, I'm just going to stand it up and push it down. Now you're not going to see all the design on this paper because obviously I've cut into it, and depending on what paper you use, you'll get a better result. Like for instance, this one with the all over pattern, you kind of get more of the pattern showing. But I wanted to try something different, so I just need to juggle that one over just a little bit. This one should fit in the middle now. Bonnie, yes it is. It's what I sell in my online shop. It's the Tombow multi, what do they call it? Mono multi-purpose glue. So I'm going to fit this in here, and it should, if we've lined everything up properly, it should sit in the middle. So that's how we're looking so far. Now I'm just going to go back to the pattern just to remind me which orientation these go in. So one goes in there, one goes that way, one goes that way, and one goes that way. And then the white bits will fit in. So I'm going to put these in first. Oh, do you know what I think's happened? I was going to use a different camera, and then on the last minute I went back to my original plan, which is the ones I always use, and then wonder if when I went back into the stream then it set up a separate stream. Right, I've just seen Bonnie saying, sorry for the beginner question, but I'm a newbie. Oh no, don't worry Bonnie, that's fine, that's what this is all about. So what did I say? That goes in that way. It's remembering to put them in the right way, but don't forget you can always go back to your ScanNCut screen and call the design up, which is what I'm doing now, and look which way the patterns go in, because some of them are quite complicated. Right, so now I'm going to bring in the ones that I don't know how well you're going to see this. Can you see the pattern? the embossed pattern. It's lovely. So these just slot in here now. So Diane's, oh hang on, I've missed comments. Leslie saying, does the glue dry matte or shine? It dries clear, Leslie. Alice is saying, my 4-year-old grandson keeps interrupting me, bless him. Nancy's saying, thank you for making a masculine card. Always find it difficult to come up with the ideas for my husband's son and 6 brothers. Oh my days, well you're going to be busy, Nancy. I have a friend who is a quilter. This would be a perfect birthday card. That's what I was thinking, Patty, when I decided to do them. If you've got a friend that sews or is a quilter and maybe not a card maker, then these would be great. And that's another reason why I've made a set of 4 to give away. And then you can either give them all as one package, or you could split them up between friends, couldn't you? If you've got a few friends, you know, that sew or quilt. Right, I'm just going to put this last one in, try not to get glue all over me. And that last one is a little bit wonky, so I've obviously gone astray a bit somewhere, but I'm just going to turn it over. And this is where having the piece of card helps, but if, not sure how well you'll see this, can you see I've just gone over ever so slightly there, so I'm just going to bring in my scissors, no one's ever going to know, and I'm going to chop it off. It's just a tiny little slither. Okay. So this is going to sit on here now, like so, but I'm going to pop it up because I think it looks better when they're raised up. So let's see what people are saying. Oh, so it's your fault. It's bound to be my fault, Max, isn't it? I mean, come on, we can't get through a week without something going wrong, can we? I've just seen Charlotte's comment saying that's a lot of masculine cards. It sure is. Bonnie's saying, yes, you can see the embossed pattern. Brilliant. Just arrived. Looks like you are having great fun. This looks awesome. Hi, Ellen. Right, so because I've got a car in the middle, I'm obviously just making sure that this is the right way up. If your pattern, you know, it doesn't matter which way, then, you know, if you get it the wrong way round, it would be okay with this design, but I want my car the right way up, so I'm just going to pop that. In fact, hang on, let me just turn it over. That side looks better. Let's put that down. So there's the first one. Leslie's saying, gives it a lovely texture against the pattern. It does. You could even emboss the pattern paper, but you know, I just thought the ones I've done, I've only done the white, so that's what I'm sticking with. Oh heck, loads of comments that I've missed here. Hi Christine. Nancy's saying, lucky that I have so many men in my life. Some clear glues leave a shiny residue and others matte, which makes more than... Oh, I see what you mean, Leslie. Right, no, this dries clear and I would say matte. Sorry, Maria, I think it's gone on twice. Love the colours. The video didn't start from the beginning. Yeah, Alice, it did. I think there seem to have been 2 streams running, but only one was live and one wasn't. Obviously when I go back I'll remove the other notification and then this will all be in one place. Karen saying, love, that's so different. The green edge makes a huge difference. Yeah, this is called Bermuda Bay. It's a bluey green. It's like a very, very deep teal. And that's what the colour is in the paper, so that's why I chose it. Alison saying, always something new every week to get my mojo back. Never thought to use them. The embossing really adds interest to a usually plain piece of white. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. So that's that one. So where is, hang on, got some paper somewhere. So I've got a piece of paper. Just going to put a little bit of dry adhesive on that. Pop that inside. Turn it over and give it a rub. So when the card opens now, you've got somewhere to stamp or write your greeting, whatever you want to do. So that's number 3. Right, where's my spatula? I just need to wait for it to catch up so I can see what you're seeing. Right, I can't see any comments for the minute. So what I'm going to do now, for anybody that can't bring the design on in one go, this is how to do it. So we're just going to use the same design. I'm going to take it down to 4 inches. So what someone Charmaine's just said, would you just use typing paper for the greeting inner part? That's all this is. I just used some copy paper from a printer, cut it down, but you could use anything. You could just put a piece of white card inside, you know, maybe 3/4 by 3/4. Alice is saying, okay, thank you. It's something I would enjoy making. Just say hi to Tristan. Oh, hi, Tristan. Right, so we're on 4 inches, going to say okay. So if you can't bring the design in one go, like I did, select the first part of your design, say okay, say set, and you'll see that they've all got the seam allowance around them. Now there's possibly 2 ways to do it. So you can go to edit, use the 3 red boxes and choose all and see if you can take the seam allowance off that way. So okay, object, edit. You might have to ungroup them, yeah. Oh, you've got to group them and then the seam allowance becomes active. You can take the seam allowance off and say okay, okay. Then you can go add, go to the next part, and that's showing you the 2 white sections, say okay. Because you've set the size at the beginning, all these sizes are all set for you automatically. And here are the next 2 parts. So again, you can either select them individually, say OK, object, edit and turn the seam allowance off and say OK, or you could do like I did before, select them all. So select this one, turn the seam allowance off, turn the seam allowance off and say OK. So if you're going to do them all at once, let's bring the next ones in just to show you. So let's go OK, add. Let's go to B1, which is these 2. Say OK, set. So you can see here they are. If you say edit, go to object, edit. I just want to choose these 2. So I'll choose this first box and isolate these 2 and say OK. So just got these 2 isolated now. Say OK, object, edit, I think you've got to group them before the seam allowance becomes active, and then you can turn it off. So that's how to do it if you don't bring them all on in one go. Right, let me just see what someone's saying now. So Leslie's saying on the 900, once you've got to set it, gives you the option to turn seam allowance off. Okay, that's fine then. So it's done slightly differently then I can't remember because I sold my 900. But I've still got the pattern book. I've not got the manual, I've got the book that shows all the patterns, and that's why I chose these 4 designs, because I knew they were in the 900. Okay, so let's go to I'm going to say home, delete everything. Let's go and do the last one now, because the last one's a little bit different. So I'm going to go into the quilts again. They're all from this first section on my machine, and from what I can remember, they're all in this same section on your 900. I'm going to scroll down and find this one now. So it's PA-A014. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Take it down to 4 inches. And say OK. And again, because it's a fairly simple design, I'm just going to bring everything onto the mat at once. So I'm going to select all. You can see it's bigger. That's because all the seam allowances are on. I'm going to say set. Just bring it into the middle of the screen. Oh, brilliant, Tanya, well done. I'm going to go to edit, object edit. They're all grouped automatically when they come in on the DX machine, so I don't need to group them to make the seam allowance active. They're all already grouped. So I can go to the seam allowance, I can turn it off and say OK. And now you can see that all those funny elongated ovals that are around all the seams have disappeared. So now I can ungroup them and then just click anywhere to deselect. So what I want to do now is drag out the triangles. I think I called them rectangles before, didn't I? The triangles. I want these funny shapes here. What are these called? Some kind of odd rectangle or triangle. And again, I'm just going to put the elements in the quadrants of the mat. So I've got the triangles in one section, I've got these 4 elements in this section and the square. I'm going to do the same thing, load the mat up and do the background scan. So Leslie's saying the option is at the bottom of the page to set button is lit. Okay. Hi Mark. Right, so let's I'm just gonna have a quick drink. Got my juice again. Trapezoid. Okay, thank you, Vicky. Okay, so I've got the same things. I've got my base card, which I'll put to one side. I've got my 4x4 piece of white card to layer the designs on. And then I've got my 2 elements. So I'm going to put, we'll do this one all in the browns, I think. So I'm going to put the brown up here in the top section and the white up here in this top section. I just need to go back and look at that design because I can't remember what colour the square is. So let me just go back. Okay, add. Oh, it's a different colour altogether. Right, I'm going to do it white, I think. So let me go back. So the square is showing as being a completely different colour, and I don't think I've cut. In fact, I know what we'll do. We'll use this because I don't seem to have cut piece for the square, so we'll use this one. And that was a bit of a squeak, wasn't it? So let's rub all this down. Load this back in. Mark, I'm fine, thank you. Hope you are. Charlotte's saying, I feel so happy my mat is starting to look like yours. What, all grubby? Right, let's do a background scan and start. That's when you know you've been using it a lot, Charlotte. Hi, Deborah. Right, so I'm going to put the square onto the pattern piece. All these trapezoids, or whatever you said they were called, are going on this piece of brown. And white's awful to see, isn't it? I'm hoping that these are all going to be on the white piece of card. Let me see if I can just darken the background to see if I can see the white better. Oh, look, see, it's a good job I did that, because that's not even on there. Right, I think we're right. I think we're good to go. So let's say, okay, start and cut. Let's make sure everything's rubbed down. Charlotte's saying it's a badge of honour, or at least being used at last. It's definitely a badge of honour. It shows you using it. Alan Green's saying there are loads of us on another chat live video waiting for you. Oh no, sorry. Alan, I think it was because the stream announcement seems to have gone up twice. But what I will do, once this is finished, I will take the other announcement down so it's only in one place, and then hopefully anybody watching on the replay will just find this one. There are some great designs, Leslie, in the quilt patterns, there really are. Right, I'm just going to push this out of the way. I'm just going to bring you back and bring in all the elements, and I'm just trying to keep them all mind you, that's not going to work, I don't think. So I was going to try and keep them all away. They need to go on, but I don't think I can, so I'll just have to look at the design again. Rip the back of my card there, but not to worry. Hopefully you won't notice it because I'm going to emboss it anyway. And I think it's because I've got paper on and card, which you shouldn't do really, should you? So let's do the same thing. Bring this in. Just going to say okay to finish all the design. And I'm just going to go back so I can see the design, so I know where everything goes. I'm just bringing that up while I'm chatting, just so I know how to put the thing together. Right, so white sections are going to get embossed again. So it looks as though one of them goes that way, one of them goes that way, one of them goes that way, and one goes that way. Okay, so I'm just going to run this through. bring in a piece of white 4x4 card. And here are the elements again now. Let me just cut that little bit of, just got a little bit of paper there that I don't need. Right, there you go, like that. So with this one, I think it's better to start with one of these. Or is it the triangle? No, the triangle. So that's going to go in the top corner. I'm just referring back to the design I can see. Let me try and flip you back. Let's unload the map. Where's my thing? So can you see I'm going to position this white piece here because it touches the top and it touches this side, and hopefully the rest will come, you know, come off it fine if I go for this one here. So let's bring in my glue. Mark's saying you need to spray. You need spray for fabric. Not sure what you mean. I'm using card, Mark. I found it after going out then back in, but didn't know how to let you know. Okay. It's fine, Alison, don't worry. Speak to you later. Right, so let's do this one. So this needs to go right up to the top corner and right along the edge. So if I put it down on my desk, hopefully it will be lined up on the edge. And this is the next one, which goes like so. It's not easy to see this, to be fair. Sorry, just realised I've not flipped you back. Okay, so the white embossed piece has gone. I've used the top corner and this edge to set this first section. Yeah, Bonnie, I've just realised. Then this next piece looks as though it goes in here, like so. Again, I'm just going to put it down and push it down so it lines up on the top edge. Then the next one goes in there. I always end up covered in glue. How does that happen? Again, I'm just standing it up so that this top edge lines up. And let's just move with it being wet glue. The next piece goes there. So you can see how they come together, can't you? You know, you can refer back. I'm just looking at the design on the ScanNCut screen. That goes there. I think once you get the first ones lined up, the rest should follow. I'm just going to work my way around. So this one goes in there. Goes in that way. What we're saying, I don't have any embossing machine like that. How can I do the embossing without the machine? You don't need to, just either leave your card plain, or instead of using white, use a colour. That one goes in there. That one goes that way. The only reason I'm using this embossing machine is just because I just thought I'd try, you know, rather than using plain white. But if I didn't have the machine, I'd either leave it plain white, or I'd pick a coloured card that complemented, you know, whatever else I was using. I think we're nearly there. Just make sure that that's in there, and then we'll put this in the middle. I'm just going to turn it over and rub it down from the back so we don't disturb anything. And that's how that one's looking. So you can see the embossing on the white, but as I say, you could use a green card or something, you know, to match, say if you had a pattern like this, or just use two different colours of designer series paper, you know, anything really. Just play with it, use your scraps and try it out and see. So let's get this. So for anybody that missed the beginning, I'm going to be giving this set of 4 away, but only to somebody that leaves a comment while we're on live. And I'll go back later and I'll look how long we've been on, and I'll put all the names on a piece of paper, and I'll pick one at random. And I'll send you these cards. I'll tell you who it was who won it next week. So that's that one. Where's that piece of white paper? So we need to stick this in. Just rub that from the back again. So let's see what we've got so far. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 envelopes, and then we'll do the last envelope. I've just seen Christine saying snap Alison, but I don't know what Alison said. You can buy cardstock that's embossed. Brilliant. Yeah, well done. Of course you can. Didn't think of that. Oh, and then I saw someone else's comment. Jacqueline saying, loving today's session. Oh, Ashley, you're the best. Thank you, Alice. Maria Cook, yes. I'm glad I'm not sewing that pattern, but makes a neat card. Me too, Joan. Barbara's saying these are different. Okay, so like I say, if you've got a friend that sews or a friend that's a quilter. Right, so what we need now is my envelope board. Let me just move the ScanNCut out of the way to give me a little bit more space. I'm going to put the lid on that for a minute. Right, so this is the envelope punch board that Stampin' Up used to sell, and they don't sell it anymore, but We Are Memory Keepers made it. So they're still available, I'm sure they are, on the internet. You know, you might even still be able to buy them from We Are Memory Keepers, but if not, I'm sure you probably find one on eBay or Amazon. So what I did, these cards are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 as a finished size. So I looked on this board, and the nearest sizes I could find were a 4 by 4 or a 4.5 by 4.5, which I can't seem to see now. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, 4.5 by 4.5 or a 4 by 4. So what I did, I tried out the 4 by 4 thinking that it's an envelope punch board, surely they're going to make the envelope slightly bigger than the card. So for a 4 by 4 card, which is what I made the envelope size for, even though these are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, you need a piece of, I'm using paper, scrapbook paper. So you need a piece of paper that's 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. It tells you all on the board, and it tells you to score at 3.5. So the first thing I'm going to do is line this up at 3.5, get the bone folder that comes with it. So I've got the paper lined up at the 3.5 inch measure. I'm going to punch and score. And then all as you do now is there's like a little speech bubble on the front of your envelope punch board, and you line that up with the line you've just scored. You don't need to worry about any other measurement, just that first one. So you line up the line you've scored with this speech bubble, you punch and you score, and you just keep rotating and lining up and punching and scoring until you're back at the beginning. And then it leaves you all these little bits that it's punched out. So now I'm going to fold on the score lines, and this is going to make the envelope. It's just not easy for me to see these score lines at the minute. I think I've got glue on my mat. So that's the envelope. Just let me see if it goes, yeah, it goes together better that way. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue, just a tiny spot, just not sure how well you'll see that, just to hold that in place. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just around here and here. Can you see that? Just a tiny bit of glue there and there. And then that's, I'll catch up with the comments in a minute. And then that's the envelope. So if we take, let's get these. So we've got two, can't even see them, got two brown cards. So I thought they could be for the Bermuda Bay and brown. And then we've got envelopes. Then we've got two yellow envelopes, which I thought would do for the yellow cards. So these should just slide in here now. Okay. So we've got a set of 4. So let's put all the envelopes together. So 4 envelopes and 4 cards. Right, let me just tidy my mess up a bit. I've got rubbish all over as usual. Put that up there. Right, what we're saying. and just need to go back because I've missed loads of comments. So Patty's put, love the punch board, got the one that makes envelope boxes, and Bo use it all the time. I have thought of doing some, but like you done, haven't done any yet. Charlotte's saying, look for 1, 2, 3 punch board, it makes boxes as well. Okay, well there's another alternative that Charlotte's saying to you. So I've had this Stampin' Up one for quite some time, but it was originally made by We Are Memory Keepers, and I know that's the one that you see quite a lot on the net. But like you say, there'll be others. Corinne saying, another great tutorial, Ashley, thank you. I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. Oh, brilliant. Well, post me some pictures if you do. Deborah's saying, I didn't get to see the whole video because I was on the wrong site. So will this be up? Yes, it will, Deborah, and I'll take the other thing down because the other one's not live. It's just, I think it's just a placeholder heading by the sound of it. I'll take that down so it doesn't confuse. Leslie's saying it's brilliant, especially for odd-sized envelopes. I'm a passionate quilter, your cards are just spot on, and I think it's super good idea to use the beautiful patterns for cards. Yes, it is, Suzanne, isn't it? Brilliant, well done. I think I need something like that, will make things easier. Vicky's saying, what is the measurement of the inner square of the finished envelope? The inner square of the finished envelope. Hang on. Let's find a ruler and tell you. The finished size is 4.5 by 4.25 by the look of it, Vicky. But as I say, these are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, and they're fitting in there comfortably. Mandy G, that's a clever gadget, brilliant, can't wait to try it there, lovely. These envelope makers are brilliant, beautiful set. You only have to follow the size list for a particular size, the board does the rest. Exactly, and that's what I did. Rather than go for the 4.5, I went for the smaller size because I thought the envelopes are generally a little bit bigger. So although my cards are 4 1/8 and there wasn't a 4 1/8 and there wasn't a 4 1/4, there was either a 4 or a 4.5. I went with the 4 and they're big enough to hold these. Bonnie's saying, I too am an avid quilter, have 5 different ones on the go at the present. Oh wow, Bonnie. What's the name of the envelope maker again? Bonnie, it's the We Are Memory Keepers. It's called the Envelope Punch Board. I would like to figure out how to make the ScanNCut cut the envelope if I can't get an envelope board. Vicky, I think I've got a video I think on how to do that on the channel somewhere, how to make envelopes. I'm sure I've shown how to do that. But basically, if you start off with a square, because from what I think, all envelopes start off with a square piece of paper. So if you started off with a square that was slightly bigger than your card, and then put another square around it, so long as the difference between the middle square and the outer square was enough to fold over, if that makes sense, that would give you an idea. Hi, is it Yesenia from Peru? Wow, hi. Charlotte saying, Crafty Owl has a box buster website that allows you to make boxes of all sizes. Yeah, I think we've used the box buster before in a previous video, but that was a box. Corinne saying, Vicky, there are some envelope templates definitely in the machine, and I'm sure I've shown how to adjust those as well, but I thought I'd also done one how to make one in Canvas. So there are definitely options, I think, you know, on the channel already, either adjusting one that's in the machine. I know I've definitely done that, but I thought I'd done one in Canvas some time ago. Patty's saying, I have used the Box Buster a few times. Nice resource for sure, for free. Yeah, it definitely is. Charlotte's saying, Vicky, I'm working on figuring out the geometry of this. I'll let you know if I get it done. With the help of a mathematical husband, brilliant. See, they do come in handy sometimes. Christine is saying, thank you, Ashley, but have to go now. Don't worry, that's fine. Can you still buy an envelope maker, another brand? I'm sure you can, Alice. If you just Google envelope punch board, and I'm sure something will come up. You're welcome, Max. Babs is saying, thanks, Ashley, for the tutorial. I think I will put on front seams like it's your special day. Yes! Love the cards, but mailing square envelopes in the USA, it will. Does it really cost extra to mail square envelopes? Wow. Well, could you put it in an envelope that was, say, 4 by, what's your A2 card? It would probably fit into one of your A2 cards. Sorry, not your A2 cards. It would probably fit into an envelope that you use for an A2 card. And that would make it a rectangle envelope, even though it's a square card inside. Would that cost more? Charlotte's saying, oh, an Ashley video is even better. You did all the work. I think I did, Charlotte. I'm sure there's something. Susan's saying, Bonnie, it's We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. Yeah, that's what I said. Yes, that makes sense. Great. Got to go. Client coming for a fitting. Okay, take care, Vicky. Great sentiment for these cards. Yes, it is. You could put anything on them. Charlotte's put, yes, husbands do indeed. I make all my card envelopes in the software. Okay. Jeanette's saying, good morning. Looks like I've come too late. Don't worry. Charlotte's saying 4.25 by 5.5. Okay. So they would fit then, because these are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So even though the card is square, Charlotte, you could put it into an A2 envelope, and then surely it wouldn't cost you more postage. 4 by 6 or 5 by 7, someone else is saying. Maria's saying, thanks, Ashley, brilliant, but we'll have to watch the video from the start. Yeah, no worry, it'll be recorded. Patty H is saying, yes, it costs more, so you could put it in an A2 envelope. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just in a regular A2 envelope for normal postage. Right, so it's 6:15. Has anybody got any last questions before I go? So Jones put, I make rectangular envelopes to send a square card to overcome the issue. Works just fine. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jones. As long as that works, that's fine. If it goes off the size of the envelope, so long as the card inside fits into that envelope, it doesn't matter, does it, whether it's a square or a rectangle, or even a circle for that matter. Helen, never mind, that's fine. Maria saying, thank you. Dawn, yes, see you next week. So I'll go back and I'll get rid of that other thumbnail, and then I'll make sure that everyone just finds this one. Bonnie, you're welcome, thank you. Leslie, have lots of new ideas, thank you again, you're welcome. Corrine is saying, thanks again, looking forward to next week. Thanks so much, you're all welcome, it's great to see you all here. Yeah, all have a safe week. Keep safe, everybody. This damn virus is still around, isn't it? Judy's saying, love the cards and you're also a quilter. Great. Oh, thank you, Leslie. You're welcome. Lovely envelopes. We'll have to rewind. I have the old envelope maker. but barely use it. This looks easy, thank you. Yeah, if you've got one, you should be able to follow along. Karen, you're welcome. Right, I'm going to go and have a look at that other link and get rid of it so there's no more confusion. And then I will speak to you all next week. So take care, everybody, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.